Hey, how's it going? This is Dani Johnson, and yes, I don't care what people think, so I have no makeup on, and I'm going to do a real quick makeup review. I'm just kind of trying to make sure that that camera is set in a way. Sorry. That is correct. I'm getting ready to head over to the studio, and with heading over to the studio, that means I have to have camera ready makeup. And I do prefer to do my own makeup because generally speaking, most people that I've seen, well, that I've had work on me from, you know, Hollywood, basically, I haven't really liked what they do. So I always walk into a studio, whether it's on the Oprah Winfrey Show or ABC's Secret Millionaire or Fox and Friends or CNN, whatever show it is that I've done interviews on, I always just do my makeup myself. And it's always really funny because they end up saying, wow, your makeup looks great. Who did it? I did. That's my answer. So anyway, I want to do a really quick makeup review, quick makeup lesson, and review of some makeup that I have found that I am like thoroughly impressed with. And I mean, I'm being blown away. I've used the same brand of makeup for, 22, 23 years. My hairstylist, Michelle Van Fossen, who is still my hair person today, she's the one who introduced me to MAC makeup, and MAC has been what's been in my makeup drawer for a really long time. But I have recently been introduced to some makeup that is definitely rivaling makeup, and she's actually a client of ours. She's an advertiser. Whoops. She's an advertiser on the Dani Johnson Show, and I'm like completely, thoroughly impressed with the quality of her makeup and the problems that it is solving for me as I've gotten older. Right? I'm pushing 50 here. I got 5 kids, I've got 8 grandkids, and you know, things are changing, kind of like these dark circles that are right here, and no matter what I've tried, especially MAC has not yet produced anything that helps with these, you know, it's like really super thin skin right here, and so I just have this little dark spot over here, and MAC has never been able to produce anything that helps that, and so I've tried Benefit, and Benefit had a nice little thin, very thin concealer. In fact, I'll show it to you. This, you know, this worked really well. It's very moisturizing and everything, but still not, you know, it was like too light or whatever. Just every concealer I've ever done just made me look older. And so it's dark circle or look older, you know, so I've generally decided to cover it up and you know, looks a little older. But XMH, Xtina, wow, Harmsworth, she has come up with a palette that is incredible, absolutely amazing. And not only that, but she is helping a lot of women become women today. Again, you know what I mean? Like we're trying to rejuvenate the female beauty again into our culture because we have literally lost it in a very sad way. There's a giant gap between the gorgeous celebrities and the everyday stay-at-home mom. It's a really, really sad thing. Anyway, so I'm going to review XMH Beauty makeup today because it's phenomenal. Now, I have a quick question for you. I have the camera on my cell phone right here, and I'm going to have to do this quick because I have to be at the studio in like an hour, no, 45 minutes. Anyway, so I have to ask you a question really quick. Is the camera turned properly? Would you rather have the camera turned the other way or this way? So if you want, please just respond and let me know. I'm going to look in the comments right here. Is that better? Okay, tell me. I want to hear from you. If this is better, I'm going to turn it a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so should it be this way? Please comment in the bottom. Camera is great. Like this? Should it be up and down or should it be sideways? That's the part I never know. Was the other way better? Good as it was. Okay, and that's Linda Podgeether all the way from London. Good as it was. So I'm going back. Wait, maybe you're gonna get dizzy. Oh, and there's my hand. Okay, so that we're gonna leave it as it was. All right, so what I just did is I love Max paint pots. These are paint pots, and these are incredible. So basically, it takes one step out. So if you want your makeup to actually stay on your eye, and people ask me this all the time, like, how in the world does your eyeshadow like stay on for 18 hours? And it does. It stays on until I go to bed at midnight or whatever time I'm going to bed, and I put it on pretty early. Oh, you got to get those dastardly little hairs over here. Yeah, because I have these eyebrows. I'm Nicaraguan. I've got these eyebrows that, my eyebrows go literally way down here. And I've been tweezing them for a really long time. Anyway, so Max Paint Pot is amazing. And here's why. Because it saves you a step. So if you want your shadow to stay on and and listen, I mean, in my profession, whether I'm doing my radio and television show or being a mom, you have times where you cry, right? Or First Steps to Success, our advanced training seminar, emotions may come out of your eyes depending on what you're talking about. And so anyway, this is basically like your very first step. It covers your eye, and it is the color of what your base color would be. So whatever that base color is. So for me, I always do is a very light base cover. So it actually creates your highlighter for under your eyebrow, your highlighter for your lid. There's various different colors. Pretty much the two favorite that I have is Soft Ochre and Painterly. These two for my skin tone, and actually for everybody's skin tone that I've ever done makeup on, which is a lot of people, whether it's Alyssa Joseph, who is a very fair-skinned, gorgeous redhead, absolutely beautiful. Soft Ochre worked really well for her. So whether you're super fair-skinned or you're kind of more olive-complected, Painterly and Soft Ochre work for you. If you are of that skin that I have to say, envy, then even like Camel Coat, which is African American, if you're like really dark, even these will work for you. More Painterly and then Camel Coat, but they have a bunch of other colors that are totally designed for that gorgeous dark, like our incredibly beautiful client on the East Coast in Maryland, Candace. Candace Thompson, who's just so gorgeous in every way. Even as dark as she is, Mac has, my husband just sent me a text saying, "Makeup queen, you look awesome, beautiful." Really? Honey, are you watching this right now? My husband all of a sudden has been on Facebook. This is kind of freaking the whole family out. Anyway, that is like so funny. That's hilarious. Okay, so back to this. So we are going to be talking about, I'm giving this makeup review on Xtina Harmsworth makeup. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my brush. Okay, now, she kind of put together this for me, and this was actually a, what do you call that? I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, so it was a palette to use for, highlighting certain parts of your face, which I don't do. But this palette turned out to be so awesome for so many other things. And so, for example, this light color right here is what you'll see me use right underneath the dark circles in my eyes. This is what I use on my brow bone every day. This down here is what I use for my eyebrows. And my daughter, Christina, was the one that introduced me to that. And then she's got these others. I use those as eyeshadows. This in a bind, where let's say that I'm traveling and I've got a spot on my, I can use this actually as an overall powder all over my face. So Xtina did a really good job picking a perfect palette for me. Absolutely perfect. And the thing is too, is that let's say that, I'm not traveling to be on television or something, but I'm traveling, for anything else. This palette, like for example, we were a part of the presidential inauguration and I needed a smaller thing to bring along with me. This is all I brought, plus just one dark for my crease. And I was blown away of how versatile this whole thing was. Okay, so what I just did is I'm highlighting my brow bone. And, not everybody has a brow, well, everyone has a brow bone, but not everybody's as predominant. I can thank my mother for this one. We have more deep set eyes. Pretty much all of our kids got these deep set eyes. They had no choice. If you've seen my gorgeous husband, his eyes are so deep set, no one ever really knows what color his eyes are. So anyway, so this kind of highlights the brow bone. So you have this section right above your eyebrow, okay? I'm sorry, right below your eyebrow, you want that to be highlighted. At least I do. That's how I do it. And by the way, you literally can take lessons from Xtina. She's got tons of video. I'm finding more hairs. She's got tons and tons of video. And you can take classes from her. And I recommend that you do. Let her teach you how to pull the beauty out of yourself. Like I said, she's an advertiser on our show. She's an amazing, amazing person. And then you know what? Linda Potgieter in London, she is teaching women how to present themselves, how to dress themselves in such a way that they're finding the beauty within, they're finding their own style, their confidence is growing like crazy, because you and I both know, if we walk around in baggy sweats and a hair on top of our head all day, we do not feel beautiful, attractive, and we don't have a tendency of enticing our husbands into the intimate parts of who we are. We have a tendency of keeping everybody on the outside of us, and we're hiding and we're isolating ourselves, and we're not really becoming all that God has created us to be. So you need to get in touch with Linda Potgieter. She's on here right now. She was helping me adjust the camera. And then, of course, Xtina Harmsworth. These two women are really phenomenal at what they do. I'm really proud of the work that they're doing, because I am really passionate about women becoming women. Being those beautiful, captivating creatures that have intoxicated men with their beauty and their love and their smiles for thousands and thousands of years. Okay. I have 5 changes of clothes today, so this is, I have to pick a palette that's just very, very neutral and kind of boring. Anyway, so I have a real dark, and by the way, I love the way Xtina's shadows, they go on very smoothly and very light, which is awesome, and they're easy to move around and very easy to blend. So now what I'm going to do is I'm taking a very dark color, and this is called Shadow Lady. Yeah, Shadowy Lady. It's a great palette. It's kind of a dark, very dark, deep purplish brown. So to me, it's not really a purple. It's not quite an exact brown. I think there's a little bit of black in there. So what you do is you go in here at your crease, or at your corner, and you kind of really highlight this section here. Now for me, because I have pretty big eyelids, I will take it up a bit right here. Now, if you got small eyelids, you might not want to do that. You might want to use a much lighter color than that. And again, Xtina is the pro. How did I learn? I really looked at magazines and studied makeup artists. I studied makeup artists like Xtina. And by the way, I'm always impressed with that woman's makeup. Wow, 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 wow. Especially her 60s line that she does is so beautiful. So then you'll take another brush, and again, everything's in the brushes. I'm not sure if Xtina has brushes or not, but if she doesn't, I'm telling you, I've used MAC brushes for over 2 decades. So anyway, okay, so as I'm kind of doing this, I'm gonna pause every once in a while, tell you what I'm doing so that you can just kind of do it right along with me. There we go. See how easily blended? It doesn't look that easily blended there, but I promise you it's really easily blended here. I want to talk to you about something that is really important. I want to have kind of a mom heart-to-heart talk with you. At First Steps to Success, we talked a lot about identity, and First Steps to Success is a 3-day business, money, and relationship seminar, right? So if you've got challenges and problems in the area of your relationship, they're driving you crazy. Your finances are causing fights and worry and anxiety. Your children, if you have them, you're kind of at your wit's end, and maybe you're not at your wit's end, but you're like worried. Am I going to be a good mom? Am I screwing my kids up? Are my kids going to hate me? You know what I mean? All that stuff that moms do. Like we are concerned about all that kind of stuff. Or are they going to, talk bad about me and say what a terrible mom I was? I wondered about all those things too. And I recently recorded a show where I was, by the way, taking a wedge brush. We got a wedge brush, and I am dipping it in that darker brown, and that's going to take care of the eyebrows. Now, I don't like the super dark, heavy eyebrow thing, but just kind of filling in some of those blank spots in there just Because if you have kind of a dramatic eye, if you're doing, and this is kind of a very pronounced, it's not highly dramatic, it's not like your big black, smoky eye, but it is a bit more dramatic. It's not necessarily that daytime kind of eye. And again, I'm going to be on some severe light, so I have to dramatize the makeup a bit more. Otherwise, it's all washed out. So I just kind of fill in here. And it's important for your eyebrows to be seen, but not this, you know, painted on. Micah, come and say hi. Yes, I am. I don't know if it's a tutorial, but okay. Here's my youngest son that can't see you. Get in here. Isn't he gorgeous? This is my youngest guy. He's going to be 18 in like 3 months. 18. Number 5 is turning 18.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. You smell good. What did you just eat?
Nasty.
No, you don't. No, you just cooked something. No, I don't smell that. I smell the food that was in your mouth.
Oh, that's called Shakeology and Skittles.
Skittles! What a great diet. Yeah, he had a protein shake and some Skittles. That's what I was smelling, was the Skittles for sure. Okay, anyway, Mikey, I just, where was I talking about?
Something to do with
filling in your eyebrows. Yeah, filling in your eyebrows. Just a little bit. Don't do that like it looks like they were like stuck on. You need to just do it very, very lightly. Otherwise, it's like, whoa, check out those eyebrows. You know, you don't want that. You don't want that at all. And you don't want them to be totally perfect either. In my opinion, they need to look more natural. So if you ended up like making them a little too dark, then it's real simple. You take a Q-tip, hopefully one that doesn't have eyeshadow on it already, and you just like watch. So easy. Because again, you want it to be natural. You want it to look like hair. You don't want it to look like, oh, I painted my eyebrows on today. Because that just, you know, it's not very becoming. I think makeup needs to highlight what you already have, not say, hi, I'm here. Unless, of course, you know, you have that super fun personality and you love those super bright colors, and that's an extenuation of who you are, okay? But that is not everyone, that's not my personality, not at all. And I could see that on this video, it doesn't look very good, but I promise you, in the mirror, it looks exactly right. And it's, again, I'm doing this for camera work, so. For you, on an everyday, you know, for me anyway, for everyday makeup, I'll do it quite a bit lighter than this. Okay, so anyway, where was I? Talking about being a mom. Now, motherhood can be the most amazing, you know, especially when you got kids like this, amazing experience. And then there's other parts of it that can be so worrisome and stressful, and part of it, most of it, is because of the anxiety of the mom. And you know, a lot of that has to do with what we bring in our past. By the way, here's that super light color that Xtina has. I'm telling you, this is the best thing I've ever encountered for dark circles, because a lot of powders, the powders that I've had from other companies like MAC, for example, or even Benefit, it's too thick. This is so light, and I have this brush that I've had for 26 years. I have no idea where to tell you to find it, but I got it, you know, 26 years ago. And I still have it. And it's actually lost all its hairs, so it has a nice point. It's perfect for putting your, so rather than a concealer, rather than a heavy concealer, check it out. This is so amazing. It's super light, and it's just little dab will do ya, and it's awesome. I mean, really phenomenal. I'm like so impressed with this stuff. So back to mommyhood. I had asked a question on our radio and television show of a caller, actually of everybody. The whole show was about finding your why, okay? Because I can tell you as a businesswoman, I have not known how to do most of everything I've ever done in business. But I've had to learn, okay? And I certainly didn't come from a family of business, you know, and I made my first million by the time I was 23. By the way, this is another amazing product from MAC. It's called, the name of it is called Black Track. It is a gel eyeliner, and it is amazing, amazing. It stays on all day long. It is waterproof. It's the only waterproof thing that I use. But it never smears and it never runs. So I like to do a nice thin line. You got to have the right brush in order to get the line. So I kind of pull my eyelid over like this. And I have it a little thicker over here, kind of blending in with the darker shadow that I have there in the corner. Not too far out. I don't have the eye that works for that. I know that some women have those beautiful, they're more flat here. my daughter-in-law. Like, she does the most incredible, nice, long line. I have yet to figure that out. It runs into my brow bone. Okay, so anyway, we were doing a show about finding your why, and a woman had called in and said that her why was her children. And I said, well, tell me why your why was your children. She says, well, I just want to make sure I raise them to be blessed and that everything in their life goes well and they're happy and all this stuff. And I just said, all of that is ambiguous. What does that really mean? You know, why? Why do you want them to be blessed? What does blessed actually mean? What is happy? How did someone get towards happiness? And I kept drilling the question down, and here's what kind of came out of it. And it was an amazing conversation. I was really proud of the young lady to allow herself, number one, to be questioned, because a lot of people don't allow themselves to be questioned, and that just is a sign of a huge ego. Don't question me, or they get defensive and all of that. And so I kept saying that's still an ambiguous answer. And she's like, so then as she started giving answers, she started answering herself going, that is ambiguous. Boy, that is ambiguous. And it gets you to think. And so the bottom line is if you as a mother are not challenging yourself and you're not learning, you're not digging deep, you're going to end up raising non-specific children. You're going to end up raising kids who, I need water. Okay. Sorry, telling what I'm doing. The same dark that was in my corner, just taking this little brush, got a little tiny bit of water on it. That's another thing that's great about Max makeup is that you can wet your shadows and they'll stay on as you use them as a liner. And I use them as a liner on the bottom because I like it to be a little bit more softer on the bottom than that hard line on the top, because you use a black hard line on the bottom. You'll see, I'm going to blend it. So I just like to take that shadow from the crease, from the corner, and blend it through down here on the bottom. So anyway, as a mom, I've put myself in situations where I'm going to be challenged in my thought. And so what I found is that a lot of moms have very non-specific goals about being a mom and about how to raise her children. And how to influence her children. And so if you say, I'm homeschooling my kids because I want them to be blessed, and I want them to be happy, and I want them to have the best possible chance in life. Okay, well, homeschooling your kids is not necessarily going to do that. And number one thing that you got to realize is that your kids are going to make their own decisions. Okay, I now have 5 adult children, okay, and 3 are married, 2 have children of their own. We cannot control other people. And we will never be able to control other people. However, you can influence based on how you live your life and the skill sets that you choose to teach your children. So when we say, I want my kids to be blessed, and so I said, well, how are you going about doing that? Well, I'm having them memorize scriptures, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not so sure if that's actually going to translate in them getting a job. I'm not so sure that's going to translate. I'm not saying don't have your kids memorize scriptures. What I am saying is that you need to drill down and very specific on how you can really prepare your kids for success. What are the specific skill sets that our kids need in order to compete head-to-head in the marketplace? What do our kids need in order to succeed as future married people, as people dealing with other human beings? And so these are questions that I asked myself. And because I'm a businesswoman, I would see through hiring different people, building a sales force actually for a season of my life, leading as a CEO, I found that there was a whole lot of parents who screwed up their kids, that did not teach their kids what their kids actually needed to know, because now I'm dealing with their kids as adults. I'm dealing with their 50-year-old kid who can't manage money. I'm dealing with their 50-year-old kid who can't solve people problems. I'm dealing with their 25-year-old kid who can't, who thinks everyone owes them something. Do you understand what I'm saying? So meaning the people that I would be hiring was somebody else's kid at one point, and that person was not equipped to succeed in life. And then, of course, dealing with everyone's, all the marriage issues that we deal with. And by the way, I do just powder. I don't do foundation. I feel like foundation at my age makes people look so much older. Oh my gosh, cakey. And so I just like, even out my skin very lightly. MAC again, I'm using that. It's a light, very light. It's mineralized is the name of it. It's the only powder I found that's light, that doesn't, show all your stupid lines that we get as we, get older. Pushing 50. I keep saying that because I'm just getting used to the idea. I'm going to be 48 in a few weeks. Anyway, so just very light. Again, I really love Max brushes. They're so good. So well. Just right, very light. Okay, so back to the conversation. All right, so what I did do is I did take the black liner and I did get it very, very close underneath my lashes here. Very, very close under there. And I'm just checking the shadow before I go for the two final stages. Where are we? Okay. Final stage. No, second to final stage is blush. Got to make sure that you have no hair near this part when you're doing your blush. Otherwise, it creates lines. I've learned that the hard way. As I've prepared a bunch of brides before and they have a line on their face, or it's happened to me, and it's because one little hair is over here as I'm doing my blush. Okay. So yeah, you got to think about what skill sets, because like I said, he as a CEO and a company owner and as someone who was, you know, even at one point building out a sales force, I noticed that the adults that I am recruiting were not prepared when they were in the home with proper people skills. They were not prepared with proper emotional skills, that meaning they were carrying all this baggage from their past, as I was, and working through it, because I certainly wasn't trained with emotional skills at all. Not at all. You know, what did I come into the business world with? I came into the business world with caring about what people thought of me. You will never have great success if you care about what people think of you. I came into the business world wanting credit. I didn't get any recognition in the house I grew up in. The only recognition I got was beatings. That's it. You know, never a thank you for doing dishes or... it was a joke, okay? It was just a disaster, okay? I was badly abused, you know, taught to hate my sisters, taught to fight with my sisters, taught to fight with a future husband. It was just a mess. Taught to put up with abuse. So myself and the people that I was recruiting all had the same baggage. And so here I'm raising my 5 kids. I got the oldest one is a story, but she did, anyway, forget it. So I'm raising my kids, and I'm realizing I got to go a little darker on the blush here, because again, I'll be camera ready, but for you every day, you don't need to go this heavy on your blush. I mean, if you're in front of a camera, then yes, but if you're not, lighten up on that blush. But again, the camera washes us out. All right. So final step, mascara. This is one of my favorites, introduced by one of our clients also. She is a beautiful makeup artist, incredible young woman. You should check out her work also. But anyway, she told my daughter, it's Mary Jean. I don't know if you've seen Mary Jean, but she's a makeup artist she does print stuff, so it's not the everyday makeup stuff, but oh my gosh, this girl is so gorgeous. She's learned at First Steps how to build out her makeup career. Now she's in New York City doing professional makeup, and again, for like major magazines is what she, but before First Steps, she couldn't get a magazine deal. She couldn't find work. But at First Steps, the young lady learned how to not only pay off debt, but how to market herself. And like I said, now she's in New York and very successful. But this is what she uses on all her models. The models that she's doing makeup with that end up in the magazines that you buy or look at, or the pictures online. I have this one crazy little eyelash that's going in the wrong direction today, and I'm about to pull it out. Anyway, this is what she uses, and it's Maybelline's Lash Sensationals. I used to, back in my early stupid financial days when I made my first million, I used to buy that stupid mascara that was 25 bucks a container, Chanel. So stupid. It's all the same stuff, different packaging, but this stuff is great, and I actually love the brush on this too, but it does a good job. Where was I? Skill set. So as I was hiring people and training and managing even a sales force at a certain season of my life, I noticed that people lacked good emotional standing, like I had, no people skills, no ability to solve problems with people, zero financial skills, zero, not good communication skills, like not being able to communicate a thought clearly, not being able to communicate a message, terrified of talking in front of people, terrified of what people would think of them. So just huge egos and trying to impress everyone or please everybody. And so when it came for me, when I was looking at this and here I'm having these babies, I'm like, I gotta set these kids up to succeed. I gotta make sure that my kids are gonna learn skills that are gonna make them valuable in the marketplace, whether they become business people or they have jobs or they don't, they're mothers. They gotta have skills of solving problems. They gotta have skills of motivating other people, motivating themselves. They need to be prepared with financial skills so that they don't flop on their face financially and then, end up divorced because of bad finances or stressed out and anxiety or encounter some addiction one day because they're so stressed out and worried about money. So when I was talking to this woman the other day and she's like, I just want my kids to be blessed and all that. I'm like, that's great, fine and dandy, but there's a way to the blessing. And there's certain skill sets the Bible talks about clearly that we should have in order to be blessed. And so I'm just challenging you today as a mom to make sure that as a woman, that whatever it was that, your parents did their best, they did their best with what they knew how to do, right? But there's a lot that's left out, and certainly our school system didn't teach us squat on anything. That one makes me more mad than anything because we could have learned these things in school, should be learning these things in school, but they don't teach them. So as a mom, it might be good for you to have some very specific goals and know this: at the end of the day, they might not use them. They just might not use them. Okay. They clearly might go in the opposite direction. But I know this, that you train a child in the way that they should go. When they're old, they will not depart from it. So they might depart from it when they're young, but they'll come right back to it. And because why? It was trained into them. Those particular skill sets were trained into them. Now you might be saying, well, Dani, I don't have these skills. Where do I get them? Grooming the Next Generation for Success. I wrote about this 10 years ago. I wrote a book about this very topic we're talking about and did a whole video and audio training series with a workbook. I think it has a workbook. We did a whole audio and video training series plus the book that teaches you every single skill set that A, you should have had growing up, but B, most importantly, what to put into your kids. Specific people skills, specific skills on how to motivate them, specific financial skills, specific work habit skills, how to solve problems with them and teach them to solve their own problems. So you do not create codependent children, that we don't create these entitled children that right now, because they didn't get the person they wanted in office, they're lighting cars on fire. They are, setting cities on fire, punching people in the face. I mean, these are entitled kids that were not taught skills of honor and respect, self-respect, self-honor, and honor and respect of other people, but instead how to have a temper tantrum like a 2-year-old when you don't get your way, which is very sad and doesn't pay well in the marketplace. It hurts you in the marketplace. So Grooming the Next Generation for Success is an amazing tool. And again, it's exactly how I did it with mine. Now, what's the result? I have to tell you this. I don't have perfect children. Don't get me wrong. Okay, by the way, amazing mascara, right? And by the way, on the mascara, let me give you this, because every woman I've ever taught how to do makeup, and again, these are just friends and family members, they never put enough mascara on. And then you have some people that put too much on to where they have 3 stuck together giant eyelashes. It's got to be Bambi, baby, right here. Okay? So, and these are my eyelashes. I do not have lash extensions or any of that stuff. I know that those things are so beautiful, but if you're paying off debt, you have no business doing that. You can buy a cheap pair of fake eyelashes if you got no lashes. But I know people are paying $100 a month to have eyelash extensions, which is crazy. I thought about it, trust me. I think they're so beautiful, but I'd rather feed orphans and build houses for the extreme poor than pay for those eyelashes. But anyway, my kids. Okay, so last night, my babies got interviewed for a television show. They got interviewed, I can't say what it is, but they got, by a casting director, 4 of the 5 of them, the ones that are all above 18 at the moment, got casted for a particular show. And I sat there and I watched this interview. It was a Skype interview late last night. by a casting director in Hollywood, and it's a major show, and it's actually a competition for siblings. And I sat there and I watched my kids articulate. I saw them each they each led so beautifully, and the way they communicated their message and their hearts and their integrity completely blew my mind. I was sitting there going, wow, look at these guys. And I was looking at how they were able to work together as a team, because they had to pick one to be the leader. The producer or the talent, whatever, person was asking the question, okay, so in this scenario, who do you pick to be the leader to do it? And they didn't pick the firstborn. They didn't pick the secondborn. They picked my son, Cabe. Because see, each one of these guys know what their skill and ability is. They know each what their own strengths and weaknesses are. And so they had the ability as leaders not to care about who gets the credit, not to have to be number one. And mind you, that they each have a very strong personality, okay? They're very strong personality. And so to watch these kids with strong personalities, to know who they are and who each other were, and to sit there and go, no, Cabe's the person to lead in this scenario. I was like, wow, it was unanimous. There was no power struggle. There was no ego in this scenario. There was no, well, I'm the oldest, so I should do this, and I'm good at that. No, there was none of that. So even the oldest, who was 7 years older than the third-born child, she was like, unanimously, done. It's Cabe. Cabe is the person who should be leading this in this scenario. I was like, wow. And she's of a personality that is a leader, okay? And same with the second born. Christina and Erica are strong leaders, and all of them have a competitive nature, including Roman, who was in on this. And for them to have humility as leaders, to do what's best for the team, was shocking to me, as well as answering questions on the fly and doing it in such an articulate way and being able to sell and promote their message. I just sat there and went, wow, grooming the next generation, I could cry. Grooming the next generation for success works, because here was an action. Here are they as a family who learn these skills, and without thinking, they just exercise those skills. And whether or not they get the part in this show, I have no idea. I do know that the talent person loved them, said that they were her favorite, and was so impressed by them, and most impressed by how they interacted with each other, how much they loved each other and respected each other. That just completely impressed her. That to me is like, that's success. That's a win. And that helps those kids to succeed. That helps those kids to stand out. And so let me tell you something. If you care about who gets the credit, you will never have great success. And if you care about what other people think of you, to the point that you don't allow yourself to grow, that you don't allow yourself to be challenged, and that if you can't come to the place of, I don't know everything as a mom. If you can't come to the place of, I suck in some areas as a mom. I sucked in a lot of areas as a mom. If you can't come to if you care so much about what people think of you, and you care so much about being misunderstood, I gotta go. If you care so much about being misunderstood by other people, and you want to make sure and control the narrative, you want to make sure that you control what people think of you, you want to control people's opinion of you, you will never, ever, ever have great success. If I cared about what your opinion was of me, and I cared about what you thought of my children, and that somehow my children defined who I was as a mom, and my children defined who I am as a person, I would not have the success that I have right now, and I wouldn't be doing this video right now, because my kids are not perfect. They've gotten in trouble like every other kid has. They've made stupid choices like all of us have, because that's how we all learn. But they were given a foundation about how to solve those problems. They were given a foundation, an emotional foundation, knowing how to forgive, knowing about self-respect. Even though some of them made choices that were not respectful of themselves or others, they've come back to knowing what was right. And so, like I said, if I cared about what you thought of me, and my kids cared about what you thought of them, they would never, ever be, going for a television audition right now, where they know their life is going to be exposed, where they know that their imperfections are going to be exposed. I would not have started this video with no makeup on. Hello? If I cared about what people thought of me, if I cared about impressing people, if I cared about controlling the narrative of what you think about me, I certainly would never show myself in a place of ugliness or weakness or lesser than my best foot forward. Do you understand? So as a mom, this is what moms struggle with, and you have got to change that. If you want to control what people think of you, you want to control how they feel about you, you want to control what they, you want to make sure that they don't misunderstand you. This is all ego. This is all ego. It hurts you and it hurts your kids. It stops you from growing. If you're that person that you don't like to be challenged privately or even publicly, that embarrassment is like, no, you don't understand me. You don't know the truth, and you find yourself defending yourself. I have to tell you right now, that is a huge ego, and it will keep you and your family broke and broken. It'll keep your children broken, because they will learn the same manipulative skill set of controlling the narrative, of controlling what people think about you. Therefore, you put on a facade before everybody. You want to have the perfect answers. You want to have the right answers because you want to receive correctly. No, that's a crappy way to live. It is a crap. And if you're worried about, whoa, gosh, what if other people know this about me? Who the heck cares what other people know about you? What it makes you be is relatable to other people. When they see you in your weakness and in your strength, then they know that you're real just like them. Okay, I just got my notification. I'm supposed to be preparing for 5 shows that I have to record today. I hope today was helpful to you. Here's the final copy. Not the final. Lipstick, which I have to choose a few different colors. Lipstick would be the last. Go away. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that one right now. Why not? Oh wait, I know one thing I'm wearing. Okay, hold on, I have to go get this lipstick that I love. It's in my purse. It's a great color. Ow, just totally nailed my foot. And it's not even in here, I put it away. Hold on. Did you see my eyes? Whoa, I'm holding the thing way out here. I need to buckle. It's time to come to that place where I get those little glasses or something. Okay. Trying to find it. Here we go. Here's one of them. And the name of this lipstick, is this it? Yep. It's a brand, it's a new one that I have because MAC is awesome. You return 6 of your empty containers and you get something for free. Well, I got a free lipstick. Okay, here we go. I have really small lips, so I line them. There we go. And this lipstick, I wish I could tell you what it is. Creme de la Femme. Creme de la Femme. And the lip liner is Soar. What a great name. I love Mac's names. All right. Because obviously you can't put lipstick on and talk at the same time. There we go. And then I always like to add a little bitty sparkle. I'm gonna do this one today. No, I'm not. I'm going to do, where are you? Here you go. Have you ever had like some of these leftover lip glosses in your drawer that you just have a little bit left? This is this one right here. So I'm trying to power it out and get rid of it. Ah, so pretty. Okay, so this one is of Corset. Nope, Headliner. Okay. All right, so let's recap and end this video because I gotta go. I got a busy day. All right, so first of all, we started this video off with teaching a little bit about makeup. Also doing an XMH review. I love her stuff. I'm shocked about it. I've been a MAC, sorry, it's upside down. I've been a MAC faithful customer for 2.5 decades, and XMH is moving me towards her brand. Wow, wow, wow. Professional, Good job. She puts together a great palette. This can be used for eyeshadows and or, what do you call that? Contouring. This is a contouring kit, actually. This can be used for contouring and or your eyeshadows, and it's incredible, and your eyebrows. All right. Looking beautiful again, right? Bringing out the beauty of who you are is so important. Our society needs to see you that way. Even if you don't like your nose, you don't like your eyes, if your eyes are falling on top of your eyelashes, it doesn't matter. Your beauty is within. Let someone like Xtina, who is a faithful client to DaniJohnson.com and a faithful listener of the Dani Johnson Show and an advertiser on our show. You can find her advertising on our show, which is why I'm doing this. I endorse what she does. Linda Potgieter as well. She's helping women to learn to find their style, that clothing-wise. Get out of the sweats. Get out of the t-shirts. Come out of the sweatshirts. Teaching you how to find your style. You might think you know your style, but I promise you, she's going to teach you a few things that's going to shock you, that's going to make your body even look better than what it does. And then last and final, as a mom, okay, you're not going to control your kids, but you can certainly impart into them skill sets that are so very important that will prepare them for life. They might for a season pull away from what those skill sets are, but the bottom line is if you put these skill sets in them, again, as a mom, if your kids are your why, if they are your why, then you've got to get very specific, get very, very specific about what needs to be imparted in them to help them to succeed. And again, this came from, as a CEO of a company that I've been running companies for 27 years, that I saw that the people I was hiring, that their parents, when they were kids, all right, so when they were 25 or they were 18 or they were 50-year-olds that I was hiring, they were lacking basic, important skills to succeed in the marketplace. And that's what caused me, as I was raising my kids, to make sure I imparted those skill sets into those kids so that I made sure that they were going to have a foundation that they could draw from, a well that they could draw from, that they could succeed with, okay? So I know that you as a mom want your kids to be blessed. I know as a mom you want your kids to have success and you want them to have a good life, but all that stuff is ambiguous. You've got to narrow it down very specifically. What will they need in order to be able to succeed in those areas? What will they need? They need financial skills. They need entrepreneurial skills or work habit skills, honor and respect skills. They need to know how to motivate other people, motivate themselves. They need to know how to get over major problems in their life, and they need to know how to solve problems in the marketplace of working with other people. These are things that make them become very valuable. So set your kids up for success instead of failure by you becoming very, very specific. And know this, at the end of the day, if your kids are your why, they cannot be your identity. They cannot be where you find your identity, because if your kids fail, and they will fail, they will make mistakes, they will do things that you do not agree with, and you'll sit there and go, what? That's not how you were raised, okay? Bottom line, listen carefully. They are their own people, and they have to learn through consequences. They have to learn through trial and error. They have to learn by swallowing the same stupid pill you swallow. Now, some of them won't swallow it early. Some of them will swallow it later in life, but everyone gets to swallow a stupid pill. It's how we all learn. That's the bottom line. And so you have to know that your kids cannot be your identity. Your identity cannot be found in your kids. Your identity is in your God who made you, okay? And it's not in being a mother, but as a mother, you can do your absolute very best in giving your kids, not stuff, skills. Give your kids skills, not stuff. Skills that are going to pay the future bills. Skills that are going to reduce their stress. Skills that are going to teach them how to have vision and pulling out the best of what their personality is and having them learn to work together as a team, as you heard me talk about with my kids. I couldn't believe what I saw last night as they are on with a Hollywood producer, talent scout person, yesterday for 2 hours in an interview, and the woman was shocked at their ability. Okay, I gotta go. All right. Hey, tune in to the Dani Johnson Show. I hope you like it. Today we're recording 5 of them. Okay, so every day, 7 o'clock in the morning, or on demand. You can download the show on demand at destinyglobal.com, destinyglobal.com, or DaniJohnson.com. Same website. And you can watch the show straight from there if it's not on your radio, if it's not on your television. Also, tune in to the Daily Fix every day. Messages like this in your inbox, starting your day with messages that's going to point you in the right direction so that you can become that mother that you desire to be, okay? Not the failure mom, not the accidental mom, not the, well, I didn't know better mom. No, the mom who says, I exhausted all my resources and I gave it my absolute best shot. And whatever happens from here is what happens from here. Okay, God bless. Bye.